All right, let's get right into it. ASUS just gave us a huge look at their 2026 productivity laptop lineup at CES, and the real name of the game this year is refinement. We're not talking about crazy from-the-ground-up redesigns. Instead, what we're seeing is a whole bunch of smart, thoughtful improvements across their entire line.
And honestly, this quote from Hardware Canucks, our source for this explainer, just hits the nail on the head. Tasteful updates. That tells you everything you need to know. ASUS isn't trying to fix something that wasn't broken. They're taking what were already really good laptops and just making them that much better.
So, as we walk through all this, you're going to notice a few key themes popping up again and again. You've got new processors, of course, from Intel, AMD, and a really big new push from Qualcomm. The designs themselves are getting a lot cleaner, build quality is going up across the board, even on the cheaper models, and that wild dual-screen ZenBook Duo, well, it's finally starting to feel like a complete grown-up product.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with the Vivobook S, then jump into the very futuristic ZenBook Duo. After that, we'll take a look at the brand new ARM-powered ZenBook A, and then the flagship ZenBook S. And to wrap it all up, we'll talk about the big picture trends and what all of this really means for where laptops are heading.
First up, the Vivobook S. You can see the strategy here from a mile away. ASUS is basically taking all those premium features you used to only find on their expensive ZenBooks and bringing them down to a price point that's a lot more accessible for everybody.
So, what are these upgrades? Well, you're getting a metal lid now, which just feels way more premium. The whole thing is super slim at just 15.9 millimeters. The trackpad is bigger, and this is a big one. Both the 14 and 16-inch models get a gorgeous full HD Plus OLED display right out of the box. They're running on Intel's new Panda Lake chips, and they even come in this really slick, cool blue color that even covers the keycaps.
But here's the one real head-scratcher for me. Both the little 14-inch model and the much bigger 16-inch model have the exact same 70 watt-hour battery. I mean, come on. That feels like such a missed opportunity. The 16-inch has so much more room inside they could have easily fit a 90 watt-hour battery in there and given it absolutely killer all day and then some battery life.
Now this is where the Vivobook story gets really interesting. For the 16-inch model, you get to choose between 3 different chips. You can go with Intel's Panda Lake for your standard mainstream stuff, you can pick AMD's new Ryzen AI 400 series if you're doing a lot of AI work, or you can get Qualcomm's Snapdragon X2 Elite. That Qualcomm version is supposed to be the cheapest of the 3, and it even gets Wi-Fi 7. It's setting up a fascinating 3-way fight for your money.
All right, let's switch gears to the ZenBook Duo. This device has always been a cool, futuristic concept, but with this update, it finally feels like it's evolving into a complete, practical product that you could actually use every single day. They've made some seriously smart changes here. There's a new hideaway hinge that makes the 2 screens feel like one seamless display. The keyboard that pulls off, it now has double the battery life, and the kickstand is built right in, so it looks way cleaner. But the most clever touch might be this little panel under the kickstand that lets you get right to the SSD. Upgrading your storage is going to be a piece of cake. And get this, a massive 99 watt-hour battery capacity. That's a huge leap from the old 75 watt-hour one. They did it with a really smart dual battery system, one in each half, which actually helps balance the weight. ASUS is claiming you can get over 12 hours of video playback with both screens on, which, if that's true, that is seriously impressive. And the screens themselves? Oh man, they are a massive upgrade. We're talking dual Lumina OLED Pro panels that can hit 1,000 nits of peak brightness. That is incredibly bright. They've also bumped the refresh rate up to a super smooth 144 Hz and added a new coating to cut down on glare. And driving all this is a powerful 45-watt Intel Panda Lake processor, so this thing should be an absolute beast for creative work. Okay, now for something completely different. This is the ZenBook A series, and it's ASUS's new challenger running on ARM architecture, specifically Qualcomm Snapdragon X2 Elite. This whole laptop has basically one mission: to be the most portable Windows laptop you can buy with absolutely insane battery life.
And here is the number that tells the whole story. The 14-inch model weighs under 1 kilogram. That's 2.2 pounds. I mean, that is just ridiculously light. You could throw this in a bag and completely forget it's even there.
Now, if you look at the 2 sizes, you'll spot some big differences. The 16-inch gets a much nicer 3K 120Hz OLED screen and the faster Snapdragon X2 Elite Extreme chip. But, and you might be sensing a theme here, they both have that same 70 watt-hour battery. Again, why not give the bigger model a bigger battery? It just feels like leaving performance on the table.
So the stakes here are really, really high. As our source material points out, Qualcomm's first attempt at this didn't quite hit the mark. So this could be their last real shot to prove that their ARM chips, the same super efficient kind you find in your phone, can actually compete with the big boys in the world of high-end Windows laptop.
All right, let's talk about the top dog. This is the ZenBook S series. This is ASUS' absolute best of the best thin and light laptop. And for 2026, it's all about refining what was already a fantastic machine.
So the entire body is CNC milled from a single block of aluminum. The build quality is just superb. They cleaned up the design on the lid, which I think looks much classier. It's even thinner than last year. And inside, they've put in a bigger, better vapor chamber to keep it cool. And hey, good news. Unlike those other models, both the 14 and 16-inch versions of the ZenBook S2 do get a bigger battery this year. Thank you.
And that new cooling system? It actually makes a difference you can feel. ASUS says that when you're pushing this thing hard, the keyboard stays a full 4 degrees Celsius cooler than the old model. That means no more sweaty palms when you're editing video or deep into a project. It's a real, tangible improvement. So let's just boil this down, because there's a really clear choice to be made here. If your number one priority, above all else, is having the lightest laptop possible, with potentially incredible all-day battery life, then the new ARM-based ZenBook A is the one built for you. But if you're willing to give up a tiny bit of that portability to get the absolute best performance and the most premium, rock-solid design that ASUS makes, well then the flagship ZenBook S is definitely the way to go. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. What do all these new machines really tell us about where the whole laptop market is heading in 2026 and beyond?
I think 4 big things really jump out. First, that battle between Intel, AMD, and now Qualcomm is heating up like never before. It's getting intense. Second, dual-screen laptops like the ZenBook Duo are no longer just a gimmick, they're becoming a genuinely useful tool. Third, premium materials like metal are becoming the standard, not the exception. And finally, the whole strategy this year from ASUS is clear. It's all about smart refinement, not risky revolution.
And all of that leaves us with one last really fascinating question to think about. When you look at these two incredible machines, the ZenBook Duo with its 2 screens pushing the limits of multitasking, and the ZenBook A with its promise of ultimate portability and all-day battery, which of those 2 ideas is going to be the one that really defines what a laptop is in the future? It's going to be fun to watch.